Hey everyone, so the next project that we made in Tinkercad was a pie slicer. Most of us were able to get done this triangular piece down here at the bottom. I thought most of us were, that little triangular piece down there. So we still need to work on the handle, which is this stuff here, but we'll get that done soon enough, and I'll make it in the video. I'll probably make this into two videos, one with the triangular piece and one with the handle. So remember, our strategy was to do this, to draw a large circle, and then we were going to cut off part of it using a box like we did in the hook. And then we were going to make another box and turn it and cut off another part of the circle. So we would be left with this slice at the top. So let's start out by making a cylinder. And I want my cylinder to be really, really large. So we used a radius of 100. I'm going to use a radius of 80 in this, so it's going to be slightly different when you go through this. And I want the height of my cylinder to be 5, so it's going to be very, very thin. And I'm going to make the sides. We made our sides in the one class. We made our sides 8, I believe. I'm going to make my sides 100. So this is going to be almost like a true circle. And we'll just cut off the part of the circle that we need. So let's run this and see what it looks like. Ooh, that is perfect. So I want to make a box. And I want my box to be at least as wide and as long as my circle is wide. So the radius of my circle is 80. So I'm going to make the width 160 and the length 160. And I'm going to leave the height at 20. So here is my box. It covers up the entire circle. And what we're going to do, since this is the front, I am going to move this box to the right in the positive X direction. So I'm going to move it. And I want to move it halfway across the circle, which is going to be 80. Let's see what this does. Perfect. And that will cut off part of our circle. And we need to, remember, we need to turn this into a transparent box. And then we need to create a group so it cuts off that part of the circle. So let's run this and see what this does. Oh, yes. So I'm going to make another box exactly the same size. We're going to move it in exactly the same way. And then we're going to turn it or pivot the box around the z-axis, and particularly the point 0, 0, 0. So let's see if we can make another box. I want the box to be the exact same size as that other box we made. So I will go 160 and 160. And I'm going to move it exactly the same way. So I'm going to move this box 80 in the positive X direction. And then I'm going to rotate that box around the z-axis. And I will leave it at 90 degrees right now. I will change that, but I need to fill in this pivot point. And the pivot point is going to be 0, 0, 0. So x equals 0, y equals 0, and z equals 0. So let me see if I can stick that in there. And let's see what this looks like. So when I run this, there's our first box. And so that just turned 90 degrees. And if I change this maybe a little bit more, what if I changed it this way? I wonder what would happen. Let's see what would happen. And so we just need to turn that into a hole. And remember, we need to create a group. And let me run this again. And that is the perfect size. That is 1/4. Since it's hard to see the angle, but I turned it to just enough to leave 1/4 of actually 1/8 of an entire pie. And so what we'll do is we'll pause this video here and we'll come back in the next video and we will make the handle for our pie slicer.